Hi Taurus, hope you're having a good week so far. Hope you're having a good life so far, actually. Let's not mince our words here. Hope it's good anyway, Taurus. Let's do a tarot reading for you guys. Okay, I'm shuffling now and asking for 3 cards, please, for the sign of Taurus. I'm doing this July 2019, but as always, the best time to watch these is when you're drawn to it. Big thanks to everyone who's been subscribing and watching. It's great to see the channel growing. Gives me loads of hope, and I hope now I'm going to give you loads of hope. So the first card is 10 of Cups. Here we go. Right, isn't this really ever so positive? 10 cups standing on the wall there. So those cups are representing our longings, our desires. Really our heart's desires. Kind of almost where do you want to be in not just 5 years' time, maybe where do you want to be in 50 years' time. This is the journey, and this really is about what we long for and also about what we need. They can be 2 different things, you know. Sometimes it's like, be careful what you wish for. People really, really want something, and when it comes, it's not really, it hasn't really come in the format they wanted. Things can be difficult like that. But we've got these 2 characters here in mutual support. I see a lot of love there and really tons and tons of mutual support. This lady is kind of full of resourcefulness, and he has a lot of wisdom, and together it works really, really well. We've got really strongly pink coloured clouds in the sky there. So we're into the heart chakra energy most definitely, and this looks to me like a really positive relationship. Now I know not everybody watches these readings because of relationships, and that is coolio. Relationships are part of life. I do the readings generally about all of life, but it's fluid energy, guys. It's different strokes for different folks. If it's a relationship with you, Taurus, it's looking really positive at the moment. Really looks like you've got everything. Looks like the number 10 of completion. So that is positive. But it is the first card in the spread, and I'm sure it's not going to get any less positive, or I'm sure it's not going to get negative at all. But here we go. Let's find out some more. Let's do a bit of shuffling. I'm into Rebecca Campbell, Work Your Light this week again. I love this deck. It says inside the box, you are the Oracle, and it's got a bit of dirt in there. How disgusting. Let's just get rid of that. There we go. It says you are the Oracle. It's still got a bit of dirt in there, but isn't that life? Gosh, isn't that just absolutely life? And when we look at a card like 10 of Cups here, it could be a temporary situation, couldn't it? People aren't always this loved up, you know, so maybe we'll now be looking at how to make things last a bit longer, how to get a bit steady, because when we begin a relationship, it is so intense, it is so exciting. No human being could live for very long if they stayed in that state all the time. We'd have a heart attack, basically. Hey, right, okay, so telling us more about the 10 of Cups transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. And I'm going to say deep thinking, guys. That just popped into my head for Taurus there as I was looking at this. So, transformation, that's what it's all about. So why would you want to transform from this situation? It's so happy, it's so loved up. Well, I'll tell you why, friends, because it's these cups on the top. There's 10 of them. But are they full? Are they empty? Are they half full? Are they half empty? Who knows? We really don't know, and I'm saying that, I mean, I don't know because it's fluid energy and it's different strokes for different people who are watching this, but I'm saying we never quite know about the cups. It's our longings, it's our heart's desire, and why we would want things to change, who knows? That's going to be different for everybody, but that card coming up is all part of transformation, because just like when we get to the bottom, the only way is up. When we get to the top, it's not the case that the only way is going down, but the only way is going forward. Yeah, we've got to the top for a reason, and it's time to go forward. So if you're really feeling on top of the world, Taurus, take on board that it's actually about transformation. And the show's not over till the fat lady sings, and I don't see any fat ladies singing in this one, Taurus. I really don't. Okay, let us move on. Anyway, and have a bit more of a shuffle and say, let's have another card for the sign of Taurus, please. In this reading in July 2019, which the time to watch is the time you're watching it right now, friends. It's all about you. That's why I put these out here. I just, you know, I do them several times a month. And I give an idea of when I'm doing them, because that way, hopefully, it makes some kind of story. But loads and loads of videos on my channel now of readings. So if you enjoy them, why not subscribe? Tap the bell so you don't miss anything. Head on over there and have a look. Okay, so the middle card in this spread for Taurus, and it is the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles sort of jumped out at the same time. So let's do these two together. Right, now we've got, you know what, I'm going to put them this way around. Yeah? Ten of Wands came out first, but I'm putting them this way around. So Wands, guys, it's fire sign energy, Aries, Leo or Sagittarius around you with the Wands card here. And Guinea Pig has bitten off more than he can chew, but we're going to do this one first because this is really the heart of the matter. And this is all about how do you decide how much you can bite off to chew. The sheep shopkeeper here, the Queen of Pentacles. So this is Earth sign energy. This is you guys. It's Taurus. Or possibly Capricorn, or possibly Virgo around you. But it's Taurus, you know, it's earth sign energy, so it's about being grounded, it's about being rock solid as much as you can be in this crazy world of ours. You see, you're allowed to take what you want from the sheep shopkeeper's shop, you know, but you actually have to take it. She can't give it to you. When this card comes up, though, the suggestion is, and the probability is, you've put a lot of work in, and now you're entitled to reap the rewards a little bit. It's not quite that straightforward. There's a long mystical, spiritual journey involved with getting to that stage. But when the sheep shopkeeper comes up, the Queen of Pentacles in this, which, by the way, is Tarot in Wonderland, my beloved Tarot in Wonderland deck, when it comes up, you've earned something, and you're allowed to take it, and it's probably even better than you think it is. Also, at the same time came out the Ten of Wands, and this is the other side of it. See, Guinea Pig could take whatever Guinea Pig wanted, but Guinea Pig is laden down with it now. He could carry the 10 wands on his back, or he could push this wheelbarrow, which is pretty heavy and full of good things. But he's trying to hang on to both things. He's after the best of both worlds. Who can blame him? But look, he is not a happy character because he is knackered, he is exhausted, and he's overcommitted himself. He's got to do this now. So friends, as you're thinking what you're going to take from the Queen of Pentacles here, what you're going to help yourself to from the kind of shop of mystical goodies that is the sheep shop, bear in mind you don't want to take on too much. This card also suggests that you may have taken on too much in the past. Possibly the effort of getting to where you are now, Taurus, has taken a little bit too much out of you. That happens. Just take a rest if that's the case. But do be looking at reducing that commitment if it's getting a bit too much for you, okay? Sometimes we commit to something that's a real good idea and it works for a while and then it just kind of grows out of proportion. And if you're thinking, well, this isn't what I signed up for, talk to the people, okay? But don't just suffer in silence, because if you're feeling like that, there's a conveyor belt turning and eventually things are going to change, because when you feel like that, you've already made the decision in your own head, friends. You really have. Okay, so let's get back into Work Your Light, Oracle, and say, tell us more, please, about the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles in this reading for the sign of Taurus in mid-July 2019. Tell us more, please, about Ten of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. And what have we? Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Right. So in the Ten of Wands situation, see, it's going to be difficult to lead anything new if you're bogged down with past commitments. Okay, and when you go into those commitments, you'll actually find that you aren't needed quite as much on that side of things anymore. You're very needed in terms of where you're moving forward to, where the next stage of the journey is, Taurus. But you're actually much less needed by whoever or whatever has got you kind of roped into this situation. So don't be afraid to step out of it, Taurus, right? Really don't, because it's priestess energy. How are you actually going to step up and lead? Well, the first thing you need to lead is yourself, right? And you need to lead yourself into a situation where you're free to do this. For example, right, as a spiritualist medium, there's a kind of mediumship called trance mediumship, where you go into a trance and the spirit guide takes over and the spirit guide talks with your voice. I find it fascinating. I've done it many times, but I always get quite ill afterwards, so I stopped doing it. I haven't done it for a few years now, as much as I enjoyed it. And I come under pressure to do it quite often, but I know I couldn't do this, what I'm doing on YouTube. I couldn't do any of the work I'm doing if I'd got bogged down in trance, because that just isn't my way of doing it. It's a wonderful thing. I'm not criticising it, but as a medium, that pulled me right off my perch for a long time. And so I've learned to be careful about that. And although I'm withholding something in some ways from some people, I'm actually giving much more in the way I'm meant to give. And that's what I really like about the way I've got things now. So hey, that's just my little anti-trans rant there. It's because I'm not anti-trans. It's really good. It's just I don't do it. Okay, but I tried it before I decided I didn't want to do it. And that is really quite important, because when you step up to lead something, you need to know why you're leading it and why you want to lead it. And if you don't want to lead it, then maybe it's temporary. But if you don't want to lead it, start looking for other people to rope into it pretty quick, okay? Because it's coming up. Let's have the final card in this spread, please, for the sign of Taurus in mid-July 2019. And another card for the sign of Taurus, please. And we have the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is kind of one side of a double-sided coin, the other side of which is, of course, the Empress. Now, the Empress is very good at reminding us that we are provided for, we are loved, this planet is set up to help us. All the mystical pagan energies, all those kind of deities from the past, all the gods, all the goddesses have been around and have made this a beautiful world for us to live in. There is bags and bags of energy, there is bags and bags of abundance if we can only tap into it, and that's not an easy thing, but it is there. The Emperor, though, right, is the other side of the Empress coin. He is not at all against any of those things, but he understands that we run out sometimes of resources, that resources are finite, and he's good at making the best of resources, you know. I've just had an image of the King of Swords pop into my head as well, because the King of Swords he enjoys life. He's not afraid to enjoy life. Even though he's worked very hard to build up the resources, he will enjoy them. The Emperor, quite a strict looking character here. He really does look very strict and rather forbidding, but although he's a dodo, he's not as dead as a excuse me, he's not as dead as a dodo. But think about the past. Think about when maybe things have run a bit thin, or maybe things have run out altogether. And just make sure no one drains all the energy out of your Taurus, okay? So people will try and drain the energy out of you, not intentionally, really, but particularly when you're doing mystical, spiritual work. Some people can't leave you alone because they're in a terrible state of grief. They can't help it. But, you know, spiritual work there, or in a relationship, if someone is just far too needy, do something about it. You know, I'm not saying end it, I'm not saying anything like that, but get it out of that person somehow. Get them to express to you, you know, what it is that they're worried about, and you point out that, you know, energy is finite, you know, because you just can't be loved up forever. This is a beautiful, beautiful scenario in the Ten of Cups here, but to make it last, we've got to be realistic about it, and the Emperor is very realistic indeed. So tell us more about number 4, the Emperor, in this reading for the sign of Taurus, please. And we've got, if I can just get hold of it, birthing a new age. There we go. That's great. A card of absolute transformation there. In fact, this is a card that comes in pretty much just after transformation has happened. Really, really positive. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And we're all doing that every night, guys. We really are. Whether we can remember those dreams or not is another matter. Have a pen and paper, write them down. Okay, but this is actually birthing a new age, and that means birthing a new reality as well. It's going to seem very new. It's going to seem very real. So make sure you've got those resources somehow under control. Somehow have your finger on the pulse of that one, okay? So you know if things are dwindling. Don't take on too much. Do take on what's rightfully yours, and good luck, because this looks fantastic. The other cards coming after this aren't the end of this. They're how it goes forward. Looks beautiful, looks good. Thanks for watching, Taurus. Really appreciate it. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell. Leave me a comment. We'll share the journey. Have a great week. Peace.